Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Chris Nelson. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A law clerk for a Superior Court judge arrested on a sexual assault charge. Also tonight, low and slow, that is the tempo of a plane that brings lots of smiles all the way around Saipan. And on the anniversary of the Battle of Saipan, we have a first-hand account. In sports, it's the Grotto 10K run, and we have a new course record. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
What's the move?
My doctor gave me the pills, so they must be safe, right?
If taken exactly as prescribed, short-term use can be safe, but painkillers have real risk. Misusing an opioid painkiller can cause serious harm, including addiction and death, and misuse can happen quite easily. Make sure you never mix them with alcohol, antidepressants, sedatives, or sleep aids. And if you are prescribed an opioid, you need to tell your doctor about any other drugs, including herbal supplements that you are taking. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Mickey D's McCrispy. Formerly known as the Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now has some respect on his name. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Real talk. The Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich should have been named Spicy McCrispy from jump. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hafaday, Tirwami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Chris Nelson in tonight for Sally Lemus. Bail was set at $100,000 for the law clerk of a local judge. Police say the man moved here from Las Vegas to work for Judge Govendo. He was arrested and charged with sexual assault. William Abrazinskis, employed as a law clerk for Judge Kenneth Govendo, appeared as a defendant this morning in front of Judge Camacho. According to court documents, the 34-year-old law clerk filed a sexual harassment complaint in May against a coworker. Coworker says that after meeting with HR about that complaint, she then found the courage to tell DPS her side of the story, which she did on May the 26th. The alleged victim told police the assault happened on Saturday, April 8th at the Beach Garden apartment after she had delivered some personal mail to the law clerk. Bail was set at $100,000, and the defendant was remanded back into custody this morning. A preliminary hearing is set for June the 26th. With our beautiful nature, stunning ocean, and warm, friendly people, we have access to some unbelievable experiences. You may want to buckle up for this next story. We are going on an adventure. What do you want for your birthday? How about a ride in a 1930s biplane that has been re-engineered for modern-day joyrides? You might not think that would be an option on Saipan, but it is, and it's less than a flight to Guam, much less. These days, we usually think about flying for transportation, but think about how awesome it is to just fly. And think about what it's like to fly above a beautiful place like Saipan with no top. I mean, you should wear a top, but the plane doesn't have one.
This is Waco 148 Romeo Victor, or we also call it Ralphie.
Nick Kelly has a cool job and very cool hair. He drives this biplane for a living. His work-life balance going just fine.
It's a joy to fly. Not many people get to fly this type of aircraft.
Waco comes from the Weaver Aircraft Company of Ohio. Ohio has some aviation chops. That's where the Wright brothers worked as bicycle mechanics while they tinkered with flying machines. This aircraft design dates back to the 1930s.
It's got a 7-cylinder radial engine made by the Jacobs Corporation. It's actually from the 1930s, and the plane was built around that back in 2017.
The prop is made out of wood and requires a little pre-game routine.
We have to spin it before we fly it to let the oil circulate through the engine.
Aircraft has a couple of updates from its 1930s design, and Nick says that's because landing these days is a little different.
The original aircraft would have sat a little bit higher up in the front and a little lower in the back. And that's because back in the 30s they would land in fields, always into the wind. And so now in 2023, runways are pretty much everywhere, so you have to account for crosswind.
John Stewart and his wife Paula first came to the Marianas in 1995 and started the skydiving business, first in Saipan and then in Guam. They have since branched out into a number of forms of aviation services, and this biplane definitely is the most colorful in their hangar.
It's all good. I mean, the airplane, it's open cockpit, so you've got the feeling of freedom. The views are unlimited. You can look all the way around and everything. You know, the wings are in the way, but not for long. You're sort of part of it in a way. It's not like you're flying yourself, but the views are incredible. The feeling's good. The sound of the aircraft is good. It's, I mean, you can't beat it. You got to do it.
On the manifest today, a couple of doctors who are longtime Saipan residents, Tony and his wife Janet. Tony celebrating his 70th birthday from above Saipan.
I know that this is going to be really exciting. I don't know much. I just found out the pilot's going to be sitting behind us, not in front. I'm really excited.
The Sterns are in boarding group 1. Goggles, check. Smiles, check. Nick jumps in, and it's time for a taxi and takeoff. And then it's the island of Saipan, ahead and behind and below. The Waco takes off from runway 7, heads north, captain with the flight plan.
We'll cruise out at Lau Lau Bay, go around to Forbidden Island, check out the beaches in Cagman, Tank Beach, Marine Beach, cruise up the east side, go all the way up to the radar tower, come down to Bird Island, swing across the Suicide. On the west side, we'll cruise down to the lagoon, see all the hotels, make our way out to Managaha, do a circle around it, and then keep cruising down south the west side of the island till we get to PIC, and then round trip back here.
79 years ago on this day in Saipan, June 15th, 1944, the beginning of the Battle of Saipan. These West Coast beaches were invasion beaches, and no doubt we all feel lucky that the island's beauty also comes with relative peace these days. The Waco flies at about 1,000 feet above sea level and around 90 miles per hour, low and slow, exactly as John envisioned it when they brought the plane to Saipan.
This was something I've always wanted to see and do, and we sort of had an opportunity and got it out here all ready to go. Then COVID hit. So we haven't had a whole lot of business for it, but it's slowly getting there, and it's such a wonderful experience.
Landing goes smooth, and soon the trio is back on the tarmac safely. Nick does a Dukes of Hazzard exit from the plane, and time for some parting thoughts.
Did you lose some hair, Doc?
I did. I went up with a full head of hair, just like our pilot, and I came back looking like this. That was awesome. It's just incredible being up there. And
What was your favorite part of the loop, the island loop?
Just past wireless, we did some kind of loops, and not a flip loop, but kind of winding up and down a little bit. It was pretty cool.
It was amazing. It was so cool. It was prettier. It always looked so green. And then we got to do just a few little things, you know, that kind of get your heart going up a little bit. So it was wonderful. Nick's a great pilot. The plane is awesome. We had so much fun.
From the Saipan Airport, Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News. Recognized credentials awarded last night to students looking for employment in the hospitality industry. NMTI, PSS, and Island Training Solutions have put together a program to help train students for jobs that are available locally, nationally, and even internationally. Brandon Nicholas from the Co-op program.
It's been a few years since we've offered our hospitality certification courses at PSS, and an even longer time since we've been able to have a momentous celebration like this. But all of this could have not come at a better time. The CNMI, like much of the world, is doing its best to revive its economy post-pandemic, and this revival begins with our tourism market.
Jim Aronofsky from Island Training Solutions.
It is said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. Kudos to PSS and NMTech, for seeing this need and curriculum and planting that tree for the hospitality program. Today, MTech and PSS, in collaboration with Island Training Solutions, will present actually 62 certified hospitality professionals. These students have had job shadowing experience, guest speakers, and have navigated the American Hotel and Lodging educational text, as well as passed a vigorous 50-question exam. 19 of the students today will graduate with honors, with a score of over 90%.
Students and parents of students looking forward to their new skills and opportunities.
I feel really excited. I really can't wait. I'm really looking forward to taking on more challenges, including with the hospitality.
What made you decide to join the program?
So I guess when they said that it's going to give us a chance in working once we're done with high school, that's what really motivated me to join this program.
Proud, I guess. So at least he gained another something to learn, especially with our tourists coming in and how to take care of our visitors.
For this program, essentially what we learned was the basics of the hospitality industry, the lodging industry, and how hotel staff works essentially. So we got taught different positions. So we got to learn the front desk and how that works, housekeeping, and food and beverage as well.
I found out it was interesting. It wasn't just about the hotels and that, it was about guests and the people inside the hotel.
72 graduates, certified young professionals in hospitality. That's such a big deal. Do you know why? Hospitality is the island way. Being hospitable is the one thing that we all have in common. We're known to be an awesome people because of it. So stand proud and serve others with an open heart.
One of the best addresses in Saipan has office space available now, right in the heart of things. The Marianas Business Plaza offers reasonable rates and can help build to suit your needs. You'll love the central location, just 15 minutes from the airport and 10 minutes from Garapan. Ample and covered parking keeps your vehicle close and protected. 2 restaurants for easy access, lunch, dinner and business meetings. Building security and 24-hour access to your office. Backup generators, so you can run your business in all weather. And 3 elevators mean easy and convenient access. It's the address in Saipan, the Marianas Business Plaza.
All workers have the right to a safe workplace. Employers must provide a workplace that is free from recognized hazards and comply with applicable OSHA standards, including proper reporting of injuries. Training needs to be done in a language and vocabulary employees can understand, and an OSHA information poster must be displayed prominently in the workplace. Workers You have the right to raise a safety or health concern with your employer or OSHA without being retaliated against, and request an OSHA consultation of your workplace if you believe there are unsafe or unhealthy conditions. OSHA can help. Free assistance to identify and correct hazards is available to small and medium-sized employers without citation or penalty. So look out, speak up, and stay safe. Job safety and health, it's not only good practice, it's the law. Check out OSHA.gov or call 664-3154 or 3155.
Get your goods here with care and attention with Micronesia Air Cargo Services. MAX is all about connections. Daily flights to and from Guam, 4 times a week to Rota, and bi-weekly flights to Tinian. We are connecting the Marianas. Perishable goods, Home Depot furniture and appliances, even live animals, operating since 2013. Check out our Thursday special to Rota from Guam and Saipan. Call Max at 670-288-6227. If it fits, we'll take it. Welcome back. You're watching the Friday night edition of the Channel 2 News. A local man arrested on charges of assault and battery, disturbing the peace, and domestic violence. Alden Christopher Igisayar was arrested for an incident police say happened back in November. The police did respond to a home in the Dandan area then. Then in June of this year, Igisayar appeared at the CID office, and police say he waived his rights, his constitutional rights, and then gave a statement to them without a lawyer present. According to police, Igisayar said he did punch the victim, but that he did not use a closed fist, only the back of his hand. He further stated that his knuckle hit her eye, causing the black eye because she has sensitive skin. Arraignment in the matter set for June the 26th for the 44-year-old Carolinian man. The CNMI markets to military families in Guam, but with high inter-island airfares, it's tough to get them to come. CNMI depends on air travel for almost all of our tourism, but it's cheaper to fly from Los Angeles to New York round trip on United Airlines, which is a 5-hour and 30-minute flight, than it is to fly between Guam and Saipan, a 30-minute flight. Airfares between Guam and Saipan have more than doubled the last couple of years, making inter-island business challenging and reducing traffic. CNMI spends money to market the islands to military families on Guam, but with these high inter-island airfares, it's a very tough sell. MVA's managing director, Chris Concepcion. And why is it happening? Like, what's the deal?
Well, so MVA, for our part, we continue to market to the tourism, to the military traffic on Guam. We participate in their MWR travel fairs to market their islands to that audience in Guam. But you're right, the cost of travel between Guam and CNMI is exorbitant. $580, almost $600 for a round trip, when you can get a ticket from Guam to Seoul for $200, or less, to Manila for $300 or less. It doesn't make sense for a traveler in Guam to choose CNMI over these other places, beach resort destinations in Southeast Asia, for much cheaper. I want to say that this is the free market at play, but there are definitely there's pricing issues. Our internal pricing issues at the airline are really based on supply and demand. But I do think a $580 ticket for a 20-minute flight, 30-minute flight is excessive.
79 years ago, the Battle of Saipan began with an invasion on the western beaches. Tonight, we're going to look back at a story we did with our favorite uncle, Uncle Dave Sablon, one of just a few left who lived through the local battle of the two superpowers. Sablon and his family hid inside a cave, surviving only on sugarcane while the battle raged around them. Here's Sablon's account that first aired in 2004.
We designated 3 or 4 able men to come down at 4 o'clock in the morning, cut sugarcane, bring it back up, and that was our food for the day. We did that every day until July 2.
So for a month, almost a month, you're
3 solid weeks. We were up there, nothing but sugarcane. Wow. It's funny how I kept my teeth. These are original teeth, by the way, except one of them. But then on that last day, on July 2, the able-bodied men went down for the sugarcane, only to find that they ran into Japanese patrol. So they hid for about an hour.
After the danger passed, the men headed back to the cave, only to be spotted by American forces peering through high-powered binoculars from the decks of their ships.
This 3 or 4 people crawling into a cave. So they sent a patrol up there, led by a fellow named John Sullivan. And they went around and tried to locate the place where they were told to look for, only to find that there was only a crucifix that they saw. And they stuck around for a couple hours trying to locate the entrance of the cave until the baby cried. There was a little baby named Conrado Guerrero. Now he's a big boy now, but he cried, and that gave the 3 boys, 3 Marine men, a confirmation that there were people in there. So they just blindly yelled right against the cave in broken Japanese, "Shinpai nai de." Detakoi means without worries, come out with your hands up. And
now this is serious business, because these guys they don't know who's inside. They don't know if they're going to get fired on by Japanese resistors. So this is probably a tense situation. Huh?
Very, very tense. We were ready to die in that cave. I mean, we knew exactly that we're going to die anyway, right? So, so the second time that this John Sullivan yelled in, my dad jumped out and said, "I surrender," with his hands up. So right away they were intrigued by this fellow that spoke English, and he said, "Oh, you speak English?" He says, "Yeah." "Oh, is your name Elias Sablon?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "We've been looking for you."
Sablon says what they expected and what happened were 2 completely different things. Were you afraid of the Americans? Is that why you didn't come out earlier?
We were told by the Japanese that they will kill all the women and all men, and will take the women back up to the ship. We didn't know what to expect. They also told us that Americans were wearing those hunters, Sarah Johnson's hunter's hat with crisp shirt, stocking, and white short. Well, we found different, because John Sullivan, the sergeant, was only 4'9" and a dirty face, and it was wearing a dungaree, so it was quite a contrast from what was described to us in Japanese time to what we saw when we came out.
Sablon's father spoke 7 languages, and the Americans wanted to use him as a translator. Sablon says he was given a machine gun to carry down the hill. 1
Marine had the gun. The other 2 gave their gun away to us to gain our confidence. So all the way down from the cave, all the way down to where McDonald is today, we dragged this, the carbine was bigger than me, but God knows I was dragging it down.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Hafaday and Tiro golfers, you're invited to the 21st annual Handmade Charity Classic Golf Tournament on Saturday, July 15th at Lau Lau Bay Golf and Resort West. Cash, cars, and other incredible prizes, and with our popular Blackjack Double Peoria format, anyone can win. Awards luncheon and a raffle you don't want to miss right after, so register today at Lau Lau, and we'll see you for a great day of golf on July 15th. From your friends at Handmade.
It's okay to take a friend or parent's medication. It came from a doctor, right?
Using someone's prescription is really risky. Taking any drugs for which you have not been medically screened is not only dangerous, but taking an opioid that was not prescribed for you is also illegal. Never borrow and never share prescribed medication. Your life and your loved one's life could depend on it. Talk to your doctor about prescribed opioids. Never mix with alcohol, and remember, never borrow, never share. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. Location, location, location. Office space on Capitol Hill available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park. With natural light and ocean views, it's the perfect place for creative professionals. So upgrade your life and your working environment. Schedule an exclusive showing now. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas sports fans, the grotto is one of the top natural attractions on Saipan, so why would you ever want to run right by it? Let's take a look. Over 50 runners joined Run Saipan's second annual Grotto 10K last Saturday morning in Marpi. The 10-kilometer course started at the Grotto to Bird Island Lookout and turnaround point just past the Calavera Cave. Back to Grotto for the finish line.
Runners, on your boards! Go!
Tanya Tan topped the women's division and first to finish the course by crossing the finish line in 42 minutes and 50 seconds. Tan sets the new course record by finishing a little over 2 minutes faster than Dr. Lily Muldoon's time of last year.
Yeah, the hills were tough for me. It was unexpected, especially like the first part going out of Grotto. But it was a good challenge, and we just tried to stick together as much as possible throughout the race, and had a lot of fun.
Second place goes to Savannah Grant. Finished the race in 55 minutes and 21 seconds. Tara Allen took the third spot by completing the 10K course in 55 minutes and 47 seconds. Sildri Valoria ruled the men's division, second overall to finish the race with a time of 44 minutes and 54 seconds.
In the beginning, I thought I wasn't going to keep up with Maya. But I mean, halfway, I kept up, and then I just had to let her go in the ending point of the halfway. And then I just tried to maintain my pace, tried to not cramp as much as possible. But I mean, overall, it was a great race.
Shigeki Tenorio took the second spot by finishing the race in 46 minutes and 11 seconds. And third place goes to Chad Tafflinger, crosses the finish line 49 minutes and 24 seconds. And here are highlights from the second annual Grotto 10K race.
What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. She said, where you going? What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. What's the move?
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas driving range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. All right, here's your weekend weather report. It's going to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. East winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows around 77 at Guam, near 80 elsewhere. Chance of showers 30%. Partly sunny on Saturday with isolated showers and thunderstorms. East winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Highs around 87 and highs around 90 on Saipan. Chance of showers at 20%. The heat index today, 104 degrees, and humidity this weekend is going to be in the 80s as it is a humid weekend. Saturday night through Sunday night, mostly cloudy, becoming partly cloudy on Sunday, isolated showers. The marine forecast calls for wind waves of 3 feet and east swell of 4 to 5 feet. That's going to continue through the weekend. That's going to do it for us here on this Friday in the Commonwealth. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday night at 6 right here on Channel 2. Good night.